as you might be able to hear, we're in the K20 Civic, and it's driving, it's running, it's road legal, and it's fucking insane. We are on our way to Dyno Days as we speak to go and get this bad girl Dyno tuned. Engine built by my old mate Brock. B had spec, so hopefully this old girl's going to make some freaking power. No idea what you can see. I've got a new GoPro toy. Let's see how we go. Right, let's pick this up once we get there. Arriving at Dyno Days. There's the man himself, Danny. Get out of this bloody thing. Hello, mate. Alright. Can't even get out of the car. Good to meet you, mate. Are we allowed to do the old handshaking yet?
I don't think so. You're probably right.
Well, we made it. And we're on time.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that colt. That's your K20 colt, is it?
It is, yeah.
What power does that make?
460 at bar boost.
That's crazy. Do you drive it on the road much?
Not as much as I'd like to be fair. It's got certainly got more power than I've got skills for.
I found that with this.
Well, we're going to get some more power.
Yeah, man. Sick.
That's the plan.
Well, it runs rough as shit at part throttle, but open throttle, it's all good. But it'll leave here in a lot better shape, won't it? So.
I hope so.
It's the old wall, been having a good old clean.
Yeah, that's right. So we've
fucking hell, through the camera you can really see the difference.
Yeah, well we sort of test cleaned a part of it.
Yeah.
Because it's been so good for us, this wall. And that's mostly Skoda Fabia VRS smoke.
Derv juice.
Yeah, which is it's all right when you clean it off, but when you think about it, really, well, I've breathed that in. That's what my nose.
Yeah, that's not ideal, is it?
No. So,
happy days.
A few little bits and bobs to finish off before we start. Putting an alternator on this Mitsubishi Colt CZT, which is
nice.
1.5 petrol turbo, and then we're finishing off the not today, but the MC2, the Aerodeck. That's
so have a turbo kit on that, is it?
Here's, yeah, B18 turbo, and we're doing all the suspension work on it and basically giving it a refresh and an under seal and getting all new bushes and stuff into it. So that'll be getting mapped next week, I would imagine.
Awesome. It looks sweet. I can see some nice shiny knuckles under there.
Shiny bits.
Lots of new shiny bits.
Yeah.
Powder coated roll bar.
Yeah.
New headlights. Or aftermarket.
Possibly, yes.
Yeah, they're not factory headlights, are they, Brock? Yeah, they got single projector and they don't look too bad actually. That's quite cool. Nice. And there is the old dyno.
The dyno cell.
Are we gonna see the magic numbers today?
It depends how rough as shit it runs.
Well, you've heard it.
If we're assuming that it's just running shit because it needs a map,
yeah,
then yeah, we'll be fine.
I'll make
it. If it's running shit for some other reason, then perhaps not.
Well, we'll find out, won't we? Either way. But on wide open throttle, she sings. What did it sound like coming past you earlier?
It sounds nice to be
yeah.
fair. It's relatively deep, it's not loud and screamy.
That's the benefit of a 3-inch, isn't it?
It sounds really good. It sounds
So you can't hear Lena's piss, can you?
No, well, it's got AFR in there. I've got a gauge on the dash. At cruise, it's a little bit lean. It's sort of just over 15.
Yeah.
But no, at wide open throttle, it's sort of low 13s. So I think it's good.
Excited stuff.
We'll see, won't we? Yeah. So anyway, welcome back to the Captain's Vlog. We are at Dyno Days. Woo! And this is the first time the car, getting beaten up by his toe hook. First time the car's properly been seen on camera, out in the wild, outside off my fucking driveway.
That's where they live.
Yeah, well, yeah, this one has for 3 frickin' years. But no, we've had a few little rips on it on the way here, and it feels good. Handle's nice. So then brake discs, pads, those EBC yellow stuff pads bedding in.
Yeah.
Could have stayed my wheels already.
Nice.
They are proper dusty. Proper dusty. And just a little update for anybody that might be new to the channel and ain't seen the car before. 99 Honda Civic with a K series. It's a K20 Z4 bottom end with a PRB A2 head. There's a long story as to why that is. You need to go and look at some old videos and find that story out. But this one's B-had built, so this one's going to frickin' rip. So there we go, 3-year project. And she is now road legal, on the road. Cobra Monaco buckets, Takata 4 points, Sparko wheel, triple gauge setup in the dash, hybrid racing shifter, DC5 cables, my lucky cork on the old mirror there, 4-point custom bolt-in roll cage. Looking pretty good. Because it's finished, I finally put the Namazoku banner on the window. That was a twat to do, that was. Really awkward. So, mods wise, we've just got a Skunk 2 rep intake, custom 3-inch pipe, 70mm throttle body, 4:1 megaphone exhaust manifold, and a 3-inch custom system with an enormous 29 by 6-inch silencer that still absolutely deafens you. I think silencer is the wrong word for it. So we're here at Dyno Days today, and they're just getting a couple of bits and pieces finished off, and then afterwards it's going to go down in that hole. It's going to make some hearse purrs. Brock reckons, this is Brock, he built me engine, B had built. What's the estimate?
242, 174 foot-pounds, I reckon.
That's extremely precise. 174 foot-pounds is not a bad shout, to be fair. That's a bit of a sweet spot, isn't it?
Peak power is probably going to be a little bit higher because of that megaphone.
Yeah.
A little bit higher than they normally are with them cams in.
Yeah, yeah. And that manifold also, the intake moves the power up a little bit, doesn't it?
I think normally the peak on a K20 would be around 7.7, 7.8.
Yeah,
And
this
then
will probably
it
be more
starts
like
to plateau and just
9,
fall off
7, 9, 8, 8,
so
1.
I think it may well be shifted up to about 8, 8, 1.
Yeah. I won't be too disappointed.
Maybe
with
tail
that.
off quite hard afterwards just because of the cams.
Yeah. Now we had a bit of a task to get it here because literally I was on the last few bits and pieces and a master cylinder started leaking, and then I bought a new master but it wouldn't fit the original booster, so then had to find a new DC2 booster, sorted that out, then I had to re-bleed all the brake system. That took forever. Oh yeah, had to replace the brake proportioning valve. I had a brand new one on it and it had failed. It wasn't allowing any fluid through to the rears. S2000 clutch master cylinder has been playing ball, other than the fluid suddenly started getting a bit dirty, so we re-bled that out yesterday. Let's just check that now, actually, see if it's gone all filthy again or whether it's no, it's pretty clean now. Happy with that. All good. She's sitting on the max line still, perfect. So yeah, let's go. Yeah.
Is it a lot better since that tune?
Yeah, a little bit. I've just sorted the idle out now as well. The last time it had a ratchet strap on it, was going on a trailer. So what's the sort of process with, like, what's your steps you run through when you're doing a dyno tune?
Well, first off, we'll see how she is. Bit of a shakedown. Then we will start with what we call our base file, which sets us up nicely to sort of get in the ballpark where we want to be. Then it's run through on the dyno several times, to fine tune it.
Leave you do your business.
What's the throttle pedal like again?
It's fine now to use.
Because
The TPS, yeah. Well, see how it goes. The TPS might want another recalibration.
We'll do that anyway.
Oh, okay, cool.
So you're saying like when you're pressing the throttle down, you'd like what you think a little bit more.
Yeah. Just the first little base run with what's on the car. Well, that was quite amusing. They've just done the first sort of like rip on what it came in as, and it was fucking revving its nuts off. And me and Brock were like, and we looked at the screen and it said 8.9. We're like, oh no, $9 grand on the screen. But thankfully, they just had to calibrate the old dyno machine, and it was only 8.6, so that's happy days. I had a bit of a panic on for a minute there, mate.
Wavy power graph as well on that first pull.
Yeah, it was all over the shop. But what did he say? It's 170 at the wheels on that.
174, wasn't it, I think?
Yeah. So not a lot just yet, but we'll get there. So they're just going to put their own base file on it now, and then use that as the starting point for the fine tuning to get us to the end point. So that's where we're at.
Even though it's on VTEC though, it's making more power there because you can.
Yeah. So it looks like what's happening is it's chiming the VTEC in a bit later on to get rid of this massive hump that we reckon's because of the cams. Now the theory here is we reckon that the FN2 cams, isn't it? They got a bigger duration lower down.
A bit bigger on the lower cam.
So we reckon it's probably making a little bit more power earlier on for longer than you would normally expect on an A2. But it's certainly looking a lot cleaner now. I sorted the fueling right out, and it made 188 wheel that time. So we're getting there. It's going to take another rip. Done like 5-6 runs already. It's awesome, man. Sounds so good. So good. Let's see what the numbers are saying.
3.5 inches of lost this stack, we're looking probably start grabbing you a fair bit more.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely gone out over the top of you. What's that number there? Wheel horse? Yeah. That needs to be a little bit bigger. Just a little smidge would be nice. Oh, there you go, that run was 231, 185. Nice. So third run, after sorting out the TPS issue, it's made 231 already. Still some clean 185.
Still a bit wavy, you can get rid of that.
Yeah.
Right,
Right,
torque, mate, because of that manifold.
yeah. Sick, innit?
RSP head with A2 cams in, they fucking rip.
Yeah.
But you go
That might
the,
be the way to go.
We go the other way around. They're not quite as happy. We did have Carl that had an RSP head, but it was another 300 quid in the bin for you. So we did have a head available, but.
That's a big job to go doing that again. If it's making this power, this car weighs nothing.
Yeah.
So it's going to absolutely tank on the road.
That's exactly what we've always said. It's
Yeah.
about drivability. People chase numbers. I mean, fucking hell, you go stick that on someone else's dyno that reads happier, and you'll have a higher figure, but it won't.
Yeah, but I mean, look, I'm not disappointed with this because how many runs did it do in the end? Like 19 runs or something, nearly?
Yeah, at least.
So it survived 19 runs getting its head kicked in on the dyno. It's not dropped any oil, no coolant, nothing's broken. It's a well-engineered car.
I love
that's
it.
fully together.
I've been following it for so long.
And yeah, me and all. It's taken a fucking long time, dude.
I bet.
But now we're here, and there we go. That's the final number, folks.
145k on that bottom end as well.
Yeah, it's a high mileage engine. But,
Oh, is it?
Yeah, but Carlos, who owned it, so it's funny because my mate Carlos owned the black Type R that engine come out of for years, and was meticulous with his oil changing when he 3,000 mile or 4 months or whatever. And then Brock had that car for a period of time, and then you put a K24 in it, didn't you?
Engine straight out, put my quad motor in it with the FN2 head.
So this block was just sitting spare in his garage.
Sat for a year and a half.
And then
Not bad for a spare, is it?
yeah, and then when we realised that mine was slapping its guts to bits, we just literally just block swapped it with the bits we had. And there we are. So yeah, awesome. Right, so that's it. That's a wrap at Dyno Days. We made 226 and 190 at the wheels and 155 foot-pounds of torque. I'll be honest, the numbers ain't quite what Brock or myself thought we'd get. But what we found is a bit of an anomaly with the FN2 cams with the size of the lobe and stuff. So
FN2 cams on the EP3 head, it's not really a great
yeah,
variant,
it's just
we don't think.
it's not working. Them cams are designed to work on the RSP head, not the PRB head. And generally the EP3s will make a little bit more power in that region anyway. But what he has said, and what Brock and you pointed out, and then we fucking see it just keep coming on the screen, didn't we?
Yeah,
the FN2 cams are making more power earlier off VTEC. So the VTEC actuation point's been shifted along the revs a little bit to counter that. And I mean, it sounds amazing. It sounds like an absolute ripper. So we're going to go and stick some miles on it. I've got a bit of a leaky clutch master cylinder though, which is a pain in the ass. So I might have to change that out now. So yeah, here we go then. Well, back from Dyno Days, and I would say it was a resounding success. Nothing actually broke on the engine, nothing fell out, it made power, and it sounded amazing. So we ended up with 226 horsepower and 155 foot-pounds of torque, which equates to 190 horsepower at the wheels. So for a little naturally aspirated K20 in a most likely a sub 1,000 kilo chassis, I can tell you this thing rips, man. It absolutely fucking rips down the road. It's pretty crazy. So Danny and Rich, great pair of guys. Rich done a fantastic job. He highlighted an issue basically with the engine setup. There was a mad dip around sort of just in and around the VTEC actuation point, which we watched the process. There was like 19 runs on the dyno to try and dial out this dip, and between Brock, Rich and myself, we were sort of looking at the numbers and trying to work it out. The FN2 cams which are in this, which are inside the A2 cylinder head, have a different profile. So they've got the same total height, so they still open the valve the same distance, but they've actually got like a more of a pear drop shape as opposed to like a more sort of raindrop type. So they've got more duration, and what that's actually done is it's given the car more torque down low. So from like 3 grand to where VTEC chimes in, there's more torque than what you'd get with standard A2 cams, which, you know, I can feel that driving along. It feels pretty torquey. You can drive it in a high gear and just run at low revs and it's sound. But yeah, it does appear to have robbed it a little bit of the high-end power, so we ended up at 226. But as I say, I'm absolutely not disappointed in this result, because the way it drives now compared to what it did before, it made 170-ish wheel horse on the internet tune that we got Carlos found that, and that had pretty much, you know, the car had the same mods as this, and it was tuned, so it was pretty good. But we had issue with the TPS, so the TPS was reading -5 when it should be reading 0, so it just kept cutting the injector, so it was very, very hesitant and jerky to drive. Now we sorted the TPS issue on the dyno, and then it was sweet after that, and man alive, the drivability of the car is just like, it's night and freaking day now. It's totally different, and it's an absolute joy to drive. But have a look at this chart and you'll see, let's dial the camera up a bit, so you can see this is the dip that we were talking about. Now, before, the dip was occurring sort of around about the mid-4s, but we're getting a sudden spike in torque there, and then it's dipping and then it's going up. But this is basically just to do with the difference in the cam. But that's the difference between the two runs. So like 180 peak really on that run there, and then that's like 7.8. Well, now we're hitting the peak 220 plus, so 226 peak at 8,400 RPM. So that exhaust setup likes to rev, man. So, and it feels fucking fantastic on the road. The only issue we did get, and because we did get one issue, and it's not because of the dyno, it's because of the parts that I've used. But if I turn the camera around and look down there, can you see just by my left foot there, there's like a little bit of a wet patch. Now that's actually dripping off of the back of the clutch master cylinder. That had been sat dry for 2 years before we put anything in it, and it bled okay, and then we re-bled it and it was sort of feeling okay, and then it was fine up until yesterday. But I noticed it when we pulled it off the dyno. I looked in the car and I said to Brock, I was like, oh mate, there's like a little snail trail going down the freaking firewall here. So I looked up and I could just see it starting to pull up at the back of the circlip there, so suggests to me the rear seal was blown out. So I've now got to replace that. Hopefully I can get one quickly and still go and see the lads on Saturday and go and do some rips and stuff, because that was the original plan. But there we go. So mostly all intact, everything's winning, and I am a happy boy. Look at the mileage on it now. We've got 263 miles on this chassis now. Brakes are pretty well bedded in, the clutch is nicely bedded in, and everything just works. And it's, you know, it vibrates a lot, but there's no knocking, rattling, clunky noises. This thing feels so tight to drive, it's nuts. It's like a brand new car, but it's tight, responsive, and it's just, I'm emotional really, to be honest with you, because it's taken 3 fucking years to get to this point, and now we're here. And I've just got to change that clutch master, and then we are then really well good to go, because all of the hydraulic stuff would have been completely changed from brand new. But Brock, I want to thank you, buddy. You've been an absolute freaking star throughout this entire process. You built an absolute ripper of an engine. It sounds mint, and it rips like fuck on the road. This car is awesome, so you're definitely going to get to have a few rips in it, mate. You deserve that at the least. And Carlos and Alex and the rest of the lads, thank you, boys. Thank you just for being there, listening to me ranting, moaning about broken shit, moaning about broken parts, this, that and the other. Appreciate it a lot, I really, really do. And I probably wouldn't have done it without you boys and your knowledge bank and your skill sets to assist me in my journey to have a K-swapped EK Civic. And here we are. So this is one of the best bits. I got a free sticker. Hey, and a beanie hat. I'm dead chuffed for that. So, and I got a laminated ting, so it's pretty good with that. I fixed a slight problem with this morning. It was struggling to pull second gear. The neck of the lever was bottoming out against this part here, so it was just the angling of this middle joint with the lever that actuates the fore and aft movement. So I sorted that out, and now she's absolutely Gucci. So yeah, boys. So until I can get a clutch master, this will be it. But look forward to some mad rips soon. Peace out.